At a time when we celebrate the great impact that Martin Luther King Jr. had on the world, we have to think that this is a perfect time to host such a tournament with players from all teams from different countries across the world competing, but everyone feeling a sense of pride knowing that it was for a tournament like this that the great man fought for. This year, the Caribbean Americas Soccer Association CASA Under-19 Soccer Classic fielded 7 teams with 2 groups. In Group A, Ingenious Elite, Lauder Lions, Jamaica Old Schools, and defending champions Rushport St. Lucie. In Group B, debutants Miami AC, Plantation Rush, and Tobago Select Under-19.
On Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, the Tobago team, after a long day of travel, finally arrived at the Chateau Mar Hotel and Golf Resort in Lauder. Tobago was expected to train at the Lauder Sports Complex, the site of the tournament, but due to transportation issues, that was cancelled. Food was also another need that came up, so the management of the team decided to walk to get food. Let's just say that it is a 5 minutes drive and a 25 minutes long walk. And not the warmest weather for Caribbean nationals either. The next morning, Tobago Select had a scheduled training session with the team at 6 a.m., one that started in the hotel gym and was completed on a small grass area outside the hotel that has now become the main training area for the Caribbean teams each year. Assistant coach of the Tobago Select team, Leon Cruikshank, talked about the team's readiness ahead of their first match against Plantation Rush.
Well, this morning we had a nice workout in the gym, exercising, stretching, and then we took it to the field outside to challenge the weather a little bit, challenge them boys to feel the coolness, prepare for it. We had a little rondo, which is a circle, and we tried to get the ball. Then we did a little 4-goal sweat. So this morning I was trying to get them a little fast movement on the wet ground to get a feel for it. That's why we didn't go on the field, we went on the smooth grass outside for the ball to hit and run, and then get a feel for the flow. A wet ball, wet surface, wet boots on the ground. Our strategy is simple, we come to play simple football. Nothing too extravagant, simple football. I don't want to really say what we're doing, but at least we know we want to defend, start off defending. So the boys get a feel of the field, feel of the ball, and then we're going to start pressing the team to suit. Nothing too fast.
Some of the returning players from last year's team also shared their views and expectations for the 2025 tournament after finishing 4th last year.
It's for the love of the game, playing soccer, you come out here, you get to meet new competition, new people. It's mostly for the love of the game.
The first game I say we're absolutely very ready. The motivation of the players, we want it real bad.
We're hoping we could do better than last year. We have a younger squad compared to the squad from before. We have 3 or 4 players that started last time. We have a young team, and we think we could reach further in the competition coming up this time. I hope that we can really win the tournament this year.
Now we know what's on the minds of the Tobago boys. Let's get to the football.
Welcome to day 1 of competition in the Caribbean Americas Youth Soccer Classic for 2025. The Tobago Select team began their quest for glory as they faced Plantation Rush in the feature match. Both teams started the game going for the win with early chances, but the first real opportunity fell to Plantation when they won a penalty, which was saved by Kahim Warner. Plantation continued to push, but the Tobago defense led by Warner stayed resolute. But with just 2 minutes left on the clock in first half, Tobago lost their focus and gifted this chance to Sebastian Diaz, who duly accepted. 1-0 to Plantation Rush. 1-0 became 2-0 with seconds left on the clock in the first half when Kishan Pownell dribbled through the Tobago defense and tapped it home.
Oh my
Plantation
God.
2, Tobago 0 at the half. During the break, head coach Kyle Joseph called in from Tobago and ruffled some feathers. And it looked like that worked because the team played much better and were able to pull one back. Kahim Lewis's shot proved too hard to handle, and Shaquille Black reacted quickest to the rebound to cut the deficit in half with 10 minutes to go. That was all they could muster up. The full-time score, Plantation Rush 2, Tobago Select 1.
Excited for the win.
Tobago's a tough team, and you know, looking forward to the next game tomorrow night.
Most of the boys we have here, this is the first time actually being in the cold. So this morning I tried to get them a little wake up, but it didn't work out too much. But I'm sure for the next game, there'll be more beast-like and ready for the action.
The first game of the doubleheader, Ingenious Elise versus Lauder Lions, finished 0-0 with both teams missing chances.
Not the best of starts for Tobago, but no need to panic with Miami AC still to play.
Well, after a good start to the tournament on Wednesday, the much sought after Jamaicans will be in action for the first time in the tournament, and they were able to get in a session on the hotel practice pitch on a very cold day by Florida and Jamaican standards, and everyone was feeling it. Interestingly though, this team looked together and fully focused on the task ahead.
So we had two sessions. We had 2 sessions prior in Jamaica leading up to the session this morning. So it's encouraging to also get the boys climatized to the weather per se. So this morning was more to get them climatized and also to showcase what we want to see in the short time that we have.
Playing on the surface at home that we'll be playing at here will be a plus, you know. We'll know the angles that where the ball will move, the speed of the ball and so forth. So the training session was good at home.
Great active session this morning, man. The guys are gelling well. You know, country schools and town schools mixing. But a lot of us are familiar due to national call-ups. So it's a good feeling. It was a great training. I spoke to a few of the players that weren't here last year. I told them that it's not in Jamaica where you can start off so they can get back in the game. You have to start off fast, you know, fast pace.
After the break, we'll see the Jamaicans for the first time.
We have a foul outside the box. This is a very critical moment in this intense match. The tension in the stadium is palpable. He prepares for the free kick, strikes the ball, and goal!
Do whatever the crunch you want. New KFC saucy wings. Delicious, hot, and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings. It's finger-licking good.
I love football, but I don't just play for me. I do it for Jamaica and for the fans on the journey with us. The ones who live for every shot and cheer every goal. The ones who know that performing on the big stage means big effort with big support. And of course, chicken with big flavor.
KFC's big deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries, and a drink. The perfect fan fuel for cheering on or history-making reggae girls. KFC, proud sponsors of Khadija Shaw and the Reggae Girls.
The last eclipse of our galaxy. Scientists are gathered here today to witness this extraordinary event. Simply marvelous, extraordinary, unforgettable, one of a kind. Oh man, that's amazing.
You can't ignore the craving that makes everything crunch. The crispy barbecue zinger is back with barbecue sauce, cheddar cheese, bacon, and crispy onions on a spicy zinger filet. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
We're back with the CASA Youth Classic Highlight Show. With 5 returning players in the Jamaica squad this year, the warning has been sent out to the other squads that a fast and strong start is necessary.
Competition day 2 of the CASA Youth Soccer Classic meant that 6 of the 7 teams would have already played, leaving only defending champions Rush RPS to feature. It was a cold and rainy day, forcing everyone to be cloaked up in order to battle with unfamiliar temperatures in the 50-degree Fahrenheit region. That's just over 10 degrees Celsius. The first match, Plantation Rush, seeking their second win in as many games and days, clashed with tournament debutants Miami AC from Boca Raton, Florida. Plantation came into this game knowing that a win for them would seal their place in Sunday's final, with just 3 teams in their group. The match started with possession stats balanced in the first 10 minutes, but Plantation showed a little more intent, earning a free kick just outside the 18-yard box that Noah Hudson hit so sweetly, giving goalkeeper no chance.
What a goal!
And just like they did against Tobago a day earlier, Plantation scored the second soon after, triggered by another brilliant display of skill by one of the tournament stars so far, Kishan Pownell. 2-0 Plantation Rush. It was much of the same in the second half as Plantation didn't show any fatigue from playing one day earlier. They say 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in football, and Plantation continued to push for the third with that old adage in mind, and they were rewarded after Noah Hudson converted from close range for his second of the game.
There it is.
They seem to have drifted their focus to the final already, which was in their sights, causing them to give up a late goal to Miami AC.
Miami still have the opportunity, and there it is.
On the score sheet.
They pull back one.
In the end, it was Plantation Rush 3, Miami AC 1. One finalist decided. Now we wait 3 days to see who their opponents will be.
This is not the first year we play in this CASA Youth Classic. I played, many years, and many years ago I reached the finals twice against the Jamaican team, and I lost in penalties and I lost 1-0, I think, something like that. So I look forward to the third one to beat them possibly, if they go to the finals, of course.
The team just now, first game with each other. It's a mix of players. They played good though. They played great. Against a team that usually plays with each other every day. But I think in the first half we had more chances. We looked a little better. Second half we dropped off, and towards the end, I think we were able to get one in, at least one.
Now on to the feature match with the Jamaicans versus the Jamaicans, as Ingenious Elite is largely a local Jamaican team with a Jamaican coaching staff. The Jamaica All Schools team were very prepared for the weather this time around in their long sleeve jerseys and their names in the back. Much credit must be given to ISA and kit provider Soccer Express. The match kicked off with the Jamaica Select Under-19s taking early control of the game and possession, but Ingenious stayed disciplined. However, in the 28th minute, Jamaica finally broke through when Orain Watson rounded the goalkeeper and calmly passed the ball into the net. Jamaica 1, Ingenious 0.
There it is.
Less than 2 minutes later, Ingenious would strike back. 15-year-old Jamar Thomas got behind the Jamaican defenders and fired one home pass. Omarion Browning goal. 1-1. Game on. The teams continued to battle, and it seemed at one point to all that the score would remain that way. But just on the stroke of halftime, the Jamaicans took the lead again. Watson with a brace. In the second half, it was much of the same, and the Jamaican All Schools team made quite a few changes, but they were still able to start the tournament on a positive note, something that they were not able to do in 2023 and 2024, winning the game 2-1.
Short tournament like this, your first game is always important. So the aim was really to get 3 points from this game, and just to wet the feet of the boys. We noticed we introduced a number of the players today to get their feet wet because the other 2 games will be critical. Albeit we didn't want to concede, but 3 points, we are glad for that.
Next morning, the Jamaicans had their first review session and the players had their say.
It was a good game, but we were not consistent with some of the stuff we do. The movement was good, but what do we do when we get the ball? We have chances that we should have finished yesterday.
We see a lot of communication, a lot of vibes at the session yesterday in the morning, but still, we need to carry it on the pitch. Everybody in here so know everybody. Then not everybody is as close as some people, whatever, because you're 2 man from a school, 3 man here, but by now we're supposed to have that unit that we can communicate a little bit better on the field.
2 more goals for Orain Watson to give the Jamaica Old Schools team the win. But what is the story behind this goal-scoring machine?
It's a great feeling to be a part of this team because this team is a good team. I couldn't make this team in Jamaica without me. We have great players here. I think I put in the work back at the yard to be here right now. To score 2 goals in my first game, I am doing my best to show the people back at the yard that I'm not only good at yard, can do it abroad also. It's very hard, very difficult to play in this kind of weather. It's my first time playing this kind of weather. It's very hard, may I tell you. My fingers are numb, My toes are numb and I'm playing, you know. Just have to keep warm every minute. Yes, I think my team can win the tournament. I have confidence in my team because we have good quality players there. I think we have the good coaching staff, the good management staff. The work that I put in pay off. Although my aim is at 35, but you know, I fall short. Still come out victorious by winning the Champions Cup and also winning the Golden Boot. To win the Champions Cup, to set history twice, it was a good feeling for me and my team. To beat a good KC team in the semi-final, beat a brilliant JC team in the final. It was a good feeling, you know, we set history by winning 2 back-to-back Champions Cup. And my favourite goal is the goal at the hat-trick against Frome that get my team up 4-3. It might seem simple, but you know, yeah, that is my favourite goal. You know, I just love that goal. Just feel relief, the technique, the service from O'Neal Edley, just beautiful. Well, my strength, you just can't make me see a goal. I have good kick at the ball. You know, I have a good burst of speed. Can get me past defender. Can beat a 1v1. Can put the ball in the goal. My left foot is good too. Can score from my left foot. You know, it's a good feeling playing for my country. You know, every kid in Jamaica want to play for their country. You know, want to see that crest on your left side of your chest. And I would like to represent the senior boys one day. You know, just time. I idolize Kahim Dixon, like the way he play. You work rate on the field. He's a good player. I don't like not playing football. You know, I always try and find some football to play. Try to keep active. Try to play, you know, try to train by myself to keep active. Say if anything I can, you know, not try to keep up with the fitness. You know, when my hand broke, it's very tough to see footballer play and I can't play. Tough, like mentally strong. You know, I couldn't wait to get on that pitch. To come back, I play a good role back to my team to help win the Champions Cup. I don't eat vegetables at all. And I also don't eat yam and banana. You know, I'm very funny, you know, because I eat the ripe banana, but I'm not going to eat the boiled banana. And I also don't eat dasheen and pumpkin. I'm a countryman, so that makes sense. I love when my mom cook white rice with baked bean and sachets. Yeah, I love the oxtail, but I don't know, the baked bean and the rice, like my mom have that touch, you know.
After the break, we'll see what the defending champions are up to and spend some time with one of Tobago's best.
I love football, but I don't just play for me. I do it for Jamaica and for the fans on the journey with us. The ones who live for every shot and cheer every goal. The ones who know that performing on the big stage means big effort with big support. And of course, chicken with big flavor.
KFC's Big Deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries, and a drink. The perfect fan fuel for cheering on or history-making reggae girls. KFC, proud sponsors of Khadija Shaw and the Reggae Girls.
The last eclipse of our galaxy, scientists are gathered here today to witness this extraordinary event. Simply marvelous, extraordinary, unforgettable, one of a kind. Oh man, that's amazing.
You can't ignore the craving that makes everything crunch. The crispy barbecue zinger is back with barbecue sauce, cheddar cheese, bacon, and crispy onions on a spicy zinger filet. KFC, it's finger licking good.
We have a foul outside the box. This is a very critical moment in this intense match. The tension in the stadium is palpable. He prepares for the free kick, strikes the ball, and
Do whatever the crunch you want. New KFC saucy wings. Delicious, hot, and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings. It's finger licking good.
You're back with the CASA Youth Soccer Highlight Show, and it's do or die for some while the champions begin the defense of their title.
Greetings from cold Fort Lauderdale. With temperatures falling to low 50s, it has been the coldest day of the CASA Youth Soccer Classic. Day 3 was a day for Rushport St. Lucie, the defending champions, to show just how ready they are to defend their title. They faced the home team Lauder Lions, who were coming off a spirited draw versus Ingenious Elite. Very early out, Rush RPS showed their intentions, and it took them only 7 minutes to get the first goal, coming from Andres Tamayo. This group of academy players looked really good and did not allow Lauderhill any time on the ball. The constant pressure paid off when Joshua Rivera got his first and Rush's second. Lauderhill tried to put up a fight, but this goalkeeping error all but surely put hopes aside for the Lions. 3-0 at the half. During the break, former Ghanaian under-17 national coach Largez Kingston made 5 changes, but it was much of the same as Rush continued to control the game with some sweeping 1-2 plays. With 11 minutes to go in the encounter, former Manchester High defender Sajai Ashman, playing up front, scored Rush's 4th, and it will stay that way until the final whistle. A commanding 4-0 win over Lauderhill Lions.
It was a good game. I think we dominated well. Came on and got a goal. I think it was great.
We always wanted to win games, and also we wanted to educate these kids. So winning is very important, but on the other hand, we look at education more than the results at the moment. But we being defending champions, of course, I'm new here, and of course, there is nothing else that we can expect than to win the tournament again.
The second of the doubleheader featured Tobago Select and Miami AC, who both lost their first game. So both teams were playing for a spot in the third place playoff on Sunday. It was a must-win for Miami AC, but Tobago knew that a draw would be good enough for them, having a better goal difference. Again, head coach Kyle Joseph was absent as he's still stuck in Tobago. The intensity was high at the start, with both teams showing their desire to play for a place in the playoff. With 25 minutes gone in the game, Tobago's goalkeeper Kareem Warner pulled off a brilliant save, which led to a corner for Miami AC. But there was no stopping the set piece as Stefano Levron scored the opening goal. Tobago Select 0, Miami AC 1. Tobago did not drop their heads and continued to fight, eventually leveling the score through star striker Kahim Lewis getting his first of the tournament. With the half nearing a close, another lapse in concentration in the Tobago box leading to a foul, and the referee awarding a penalty to Miami. Tobago giving up their second penalty in as many games. But again, it was the Kareem Warner show as he got down to his right to pull off another fantastic save to keep the score level at the half. Coach Kyle Joseph's halftime talks over the phone seemed to have some magical effect as his team's performance always improves. Tobago knew that if the score remained the same, they would go through, so they defended as if their lives depended on it. In the second half, we mic'd up goalkeeper Kareem Warner as he managed his team. Let's listen in.
Yes, boy, that's important for us. Drop, Joy, drop. And just slide left. Switch. Out, man on. Keep. No. Step out, Joy.
The match ended 1-1, meaning Tobago Select are through to the third place playoff on Sunday.
I had nothing really. The boys was playing a little timid again, but I mean, we were ready for them. We were ready. You know, it was a good game. The team played their best.
It is confirmed. Rushport St. Lucie are ready to defend, and Tobago are through over Miami AC. With Tobago now through largely because of the attacking strength of their number 9, creating the first and scoring the second, we sat down with him to find out about his football journey.
I'm joined by waterman of the match for this Ben Francis Cup final, Kahim Lewis of St. Elizabeth Technical. Kahim, you're a champion.
One day I was home and I got a call from a coach saying that I have the opportunity to go and try school football in Jamaica, and I took it. So that's what happened. After I get the call, I went on YouTube, Google, do my research, and found that it was actually a good school. So I don't mind going. That make it even better for me to go. I want to go even more. was just after the CXC, so I was going to sixth form anyway in Tobago, so I say, just try something new somewhere else, so I really don't have a problem, to be honest. I was waiting for my results, and as soon as I get the results, probably like the following days, 2 following days, I end up on leave. So then I didn't really get to do much pre-season training with the team, but then after training after a while, I come and get comfortable and then fit in with the team well, I should say. The first training session I went, well, I was a new guy, so everybody watching to say what I'm going to do, how I'm going to play, and I ended up getting a penalty in training. And everybody wanted to say if I can score or not as a new striker. And I missed. So then, that was kind of embarrassing, to be honest. I didn't feel good about it, but they cheer me on and tell me that everyone miss and don't feel bad about it and continue going, and I did just that. The first match against Magati. First time I going to be playing in Jamaica, I was kind of nervous. So when I went on, I was still in shock because I didn't know what to expect after watching the first half. So when I went on, I was kind of off rhythm. But then after getting the first touch on the ball, everything was normal after that. My season, to be honest, could have been better because the first 5 matches, I wasn't scoring. But then I said to myself that I can't come so far and do nothing. So I had to buck up and step up and do what I do. And I ended up doing good by the end of the season, getting MVP and most goals in the Ben Francis, and even winning it. Nothing could feel better than winning a final in your first year. School going good, can't really complain about that either. And the teachers willing to help you because as it's football, sometimes I gotta leave school lunchtime. So when I miss them days, like teachers willing to pick up on where I wasn't there in class. So, and I find that's a good thing. You can't study football and forget the education part of it. I'm a part of Tobago Select, and this is the 3rd consecutive year I'm coming to this tournament. We want to come to represent Tobago as a team, and we never win last year, so we keep on coming. And every time we come, we're doing better and better, so we want to do even better this year.
And Lewis was the creator and deliverer of this 3rd goal for St. Elizabeth Technical.
We're on to another break as we give you some time to have some KFC hot wings.
The last eclipse of our galaxy, scientists are gathered here today to witness this extraordinary event. Simply marvelous, extraordinary, unforgettable, one of a kind. Oh man, that's amazing.
You can't ignore the craving that makes everything crunch. The crispy barbecue zinger is back with barbecue sauce, cheddar cheese, bacon, and crispy onions on a spicy zinger filet. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
I love football, but I don't just play for me. I do it for Jamaica and for the fans on the journey with us. The ones who live for every shot and cheer every goal. The ones who know that performing on the big stage means big effort with big support. And of course, chicken with big flavor.
KFC's big deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries, and a drink. The perfect fan fuel for cheering on or history-making reggae girls. KFC, proud sponsors of Khadija Shaw and the Reggae Girls.
We have a foul outside the box. This is a very critical moment in this intense match. The tension in the stadium is palpable. He prepares for the free kick, strikes the ball, and goal!
Do whatever the crunch you want. New KFC saucy wings. Delicious, hot, and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings. It's finger-licking good.
We've come to find out that this CASA tournament has Caribbean nationals on almost all the teams. Let's meet 3 such players who are studying and training in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
In Jamaica, the opportunities there, it's a bit less than abroad. So I actually came here on vacation and then I heard about Rush Academy, and I was like, why not take my chances here? It's America, you know that there's a lot of scouts, a lot of colleges out there. So I decided to take the chance and see what I can do with that opportunity.
I had the opportunity from an invite to join. Immediately jumped on the call, made the decision, yes, I want to play for here. The community, the family, the spirit at Rush, it's a different level. We all play for the team. We have a saying, the star of the team is the team.
We build a family at the Rush Select Academy. Oh, everyone treats each other to meet each other. So in the locker room, everyone shake each other and hug up each other, you know what I'm saying? You know, so the bond is just so different.
The environment is mixed. We have Brazilians, Jamaicans, French, so it's great to have different mixes and also people from your home, because you know, you feel more comfortable, and it's been great. The guys are excellent, and we're on a lot of quality. The coaches, the staff, the players, everybody.
To keep the ball, when to go long, to play under pressure, opposite movements around the ball, body shape, defensive, run a lot, so much. I've run a lot. And I find myself getting so much better at the sport, so much better. Like
my goals, you know, for me, I just want to make it as far as I can in football. I don't know where it's going to take me, but I know that eventually I want to be involved in the sport. That could be on the field, off the field, coaching, background staff.
A very big opportunity ahead for me. I just got to get my head straight and take it, grab it with both arms and feet, you know. I think it's a big move for me.
Hopefully I can make it to D1. I really want to study in a top college and I represent a top college in football. Or I could go pro. Anywhere this takes me, I'm willing to just take that part.
The Rush, we have a first team in Croatia, so that's the move for me in the next couple of years, next year. And I'm also a part of the national team.
Long story short, my parents decided to move to Barbados, lived there for 10 years, and one day coming up to the CFU Under-14 Challenge Series, they asked me to join their team, get the passport, and that's how it all came. Honestly, for a long time I wanted to play for Jamaica, but when international football calls, you have to represent. You know, it's been pleasant, a big difference for me, you know, culture shock, but Jamaica, Barbados, similar, but still a lot of differences, but I've adjusted very well, and it's now what it is my home.
Recommend it to a lot of people back home already. Some younger players than me. I think they should take this chance. It's a great academy, wonderful ground, everything.
Now let's see what they'll do against their Caribbean counterparts in Ingenious Elite.
It's the fourth day of competition in the CASA Youth Soccer Classic 2025. We've seen all the teams and the high level of play needed to have a chance at winning this tournament. With that in mind, the team was well aware of what this day meant. Both Rush, RPS, and Jamaica All Schools knew that a win would set up the last game in their group between them as a winner takes all. So, on to the opening match, which featured Ingenious Elite with 1 point from 2 games versus Rushport St. Lucie with 3 points and 3 goals from their first match. It was expected for RPS to press from the first whistle, but little did we know that they would score so soon after kickoff. Following an error in the Ingenious midfield, RPS capitalized and defender turned forward Sujai Ashman from Manchester High, Jamaica, turned nicely and placed it beautifully past the goalkeeper. Ingenious 0, RPS 1 with just seconds on the clock, and it looked like it was going to be a rout. With that very early goal, RPS continued to control the first half, but they clearly did not look as strong, which may have been due to the fact that Coach Lauder Kingston started the team that ended the game the night before. No more goals in the first half. Coach Kingston, for the second game in a row, made 5 changes at the break, bringing on his regular starters, and it showed they rang rings around Ingenious and got their second in the 53rd minute from Ryan Medina. 11 minutes later, substitute Marilo Sasso put the game out of reach for Ingenious Elite. After that, it was all about tiki-taka as Rushport St. Lucie made it 2 from 2. 6 points, 7 goals, and none against.
For me, I think we are educating all the players, so we try to give every player some minutes, enough minutes, you know. And we're talking about a tournament that we play in back-to-back. Every day you have a game. I think it's always important to manage the load. I think we will find a solution. We'll have the antidote that the Jamaicans need.
After seeing that performance against Ingenious by RPS, the Jamaicans knew exactly what they had to do to stay on course, win heavily by 6 clear goals, and they would have the advantage going into their final match against Rush. Jamaica All Schools in their changed black stripe had a hard time breaking down local team Lauder Lions, and it started to look like a very difficult game until Nasharda Gibbs broke free in the 29th minute to put the Jamaicans up 1-0. Just 2 minutes later, the door was open again, and in came O'Rain Watson with his third goal of the tournament. In the 34th minute, Jamaica won a penalty after a tackle on Devon Davis, and Captain Dylan John stepped up to make it 3-0. More chances would come in the half, but the score remained the same. In the second half, the Jamaica All-Schools coaching staff made quite a few changes, and within the first 2 minutes, the score was 4-0. O'Rain Watson again with a double for his fourth goal in 2 games. Substitute Stevan Spence followed up with a tap-in from close range in the 66th minute, and DeAndre Barnett made it 6-0 with his first touch of the game after just coming onto the field. St. Catherine High's Kadeen Young made it 7 with that nice finish, and this helped Jamaica to surpass Rush in the goal difference category, but they were not finished as Domain Smith made it 8-0 after a sweet build-up. An 8-star performance from the Jamaicans. Now it's everything to play for against the defending champions.
Wow, excellent performance from the boys. We have been training, we have been working together, and what could you ask for? 8-star performance from the boys. Truly, that's amazing. They want to go to the final to retain their title, but we are here to set a history and to also to win this title.
An 8-star performance by the Jamaicans, and this sets up a very interesting clash. Another break is here, another time to grab some KFC. When we return, we'll have the 2 finalists confirmed.
I love football, but I don't just play for me. I do it for Jamaica and for the fans on the journey with us. The ones who live for every shot and cheer every goal. The ones who know that performing on the big stage means big effort with big support. And of course, chicken with big flavor.
KFC's Big Deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries, and a drink. The perfect fan fuel for cheering on or history-making reggae girls. KFC, proud sponsors of Khadija Shaw and the Reggae Girls.
We have a foul outside the box. This is a very critical moment in this intense match. The tension in the stadium is palpable. He prepares for the free kick, strikes the ball, and goal!
Do whatever the crunch you want. New KFC saucy wings. Delicious, hot, and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings. It's finger-licking good.
The last eclipse of our galaxy. Scientists are gathered here today to witness this extraordinary event. Simply marvelous, extraordinary, unforgettable, one of a kind. Oh man, that's amazing.
You can't ignore the craving that makes everything crunch. The crispy barbecue zinger is back with barbecue sauce, cheddar cheese, bacon, and crispy onions on a spicy zinger filet. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Welcome back. It's the final day of group play, and it ends with 2 informed teams fighting for 1 spot. But before we go to that clash, we caught up with one of the broadcasters of the CASA Youth Soccer Classic to find out a little more about them.
Flex FM started with TC. We were all at Big Station together, and they separated. Big Station stayed on the dial. Flex FM went online. So Flex FM started as an online station and grew from there. During the process, we did gain some, in different states, some dials that sprung from our broadcast. So like in New York, in New Jersey, Connecticut, we had some dials stem from our online broadcast with Flex FM. The difference with Flex is the diversity of programs that we have on air. You know, we catered mostly to the Caribbean market, but we also diversify outside of it. Like you may tune in on the radio, you may hear not just R&B or country playing on the station in a slot. So, you know, we don't go straight Caribbean. That started during the pandemic. What happened is the youth games, the parents could not go to the games. So we decided one day, TC's son's game, we decided let's go and stream the game and so the parents can watch. The difference we brought with streaming, we brought the play-by-play. So a lot of times they used to watch it and just, playing video. But I started doing the play-by-play. And all of a sudden we went from 20 countries to 100 countries that's tuned in because of the diversity of the players. And that's how, during the pandemic, we just grew. And we started doing that. And then 2 years ago, I decided, because I've always been with CASA. I was actually the one who brought Plantation into CASA 2012 with a youth team in the Super League and actually won it. The Youth Classic, personally, since I would say 2012, personally bringing teams in and out. But I've been around for the 18 years, the 15 years that they've been around, as a spectator or wherever they need me. Two of my sons play in the CASA tournament 2 years ago. Prior to that, there was actually no streaming for the tournament. So, and because I was so heavily invested in it and I had Flex, I decided to merge the two and see how far we could take this tournament. Because now what happened in this tournament, there's a lot of coaches that can't make it to the games, but they can view. I would say I got a call from a scout in Georgia, and there was a young player, I don't remember the name of the player at this time, but he was watching through Flex, and he was able to give that player a full 4-year scholarship just because he was watching it through the stream. And there's many more like that, My son, he plays in Austria, and from there he can actually have his coaches watch and see potential players that can, derive from here. I've been in this country a long time. I'm a Manchester High player, right? I came here in '76, but all my thoughts and dreams was back to Jamaica. That's it, always. These players that you comes up from Jamaica, that comes from not just Kingston, but across the island. It's a big deal for us here in the United States to see that, and that's why we come out to watch them, because we grew up there playing the sport, we love the sport. Jamaica high school football is one of the biggest that you can think about. So even though we are not there, we're there. And so it's a great thing to see them every year for the last couple of years. I would like to take it as far as we can take it. I would like it to be more than just South Florida. We do travel with Flex, but this particular tournament, I would like to see it's Atlanta, New York, the whole diaspora that, so these, our Jamaicans want to see them, and they can't get to see them down there, and I'm glad that we can, bring it to them.
Now that we know the where, when, how, and why of the CASA Youth Classic, let's watch this big clash ourselves.
Competition day 5 and the last in the group stage of the CASA Youth Soccer Classic for most was dubbed the final before the final. A day when Jamaica all schools faced Rushport St. Lucie, with most fans asking why were these two teams placed in the same first round group. That aside, we definitely had a match on our hands. The task for both teams was simple. For Jamaica, a win or a draw, and for RPS, only a win will give them a chance at defending their title. On a day where there was only one match at 8 p.m., the organizers smartly married this big clash with the opening ceremony and dress parade of the local Super League and Masters League football and netball competitions. All the local aficionados were out in their numbers, including Mayor of Lauder Hill, Denise Grant.
We create an environment that's conducive for success for all of our sports team. I am here with my colleagues. A few of them will give some words as well, but I wanted to ensure that we gave you a proper welcome to this beautiful, progressive, and culturally diverse city of Lauder Hill.
The Pathfinder drum corps treated us to some good rhythms and put everyone in battle mode. And after a spectacle, it was on to the football, with both teams on 6 points and a place in the final looming, the loser earning a spot in the third place playoff.
Jamaica. 1, 2, 3. Jamaica. 1, 2, 3. Jamaica.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
They came in with high hopes and the game started with high intensity. The chess match was clear as both coaching staffs adjusted their strategies as the game continued. Jamaica came close to breaking the deadlock a couple times through Wayne Watson, but 0-0. At the half, it's all would stay. The teams matched each other with skill and speed, but Jamaica were winning in the area of physicality, and that frustrated Rush right through. Late in the second half, handball by the Jamaican defense. Rush screamed for a penalty, but the referee awarded a free kick on the edge of the box. Right before the free kick was taken, the referee issued a red card to Josu Rivera for something that he seemingly said. RPS down to 10 men, and Flavio D'Angelo couldn't get past the Jamaican wall. Even with 10, RPS continued to apply pressure, knowing that only a win would take them through. But a combination of Jamaican goalkeeper Omarion Brown and the upright saved the Jamaicans. The match ended in a draw and the Jamaicans are through, just edging Rushport St. Lucie on the goal difference. Vice Captain Jason White was happy after the game, but let's hear what he had to say during the game as we mic'd him up.
What up your head, bro? Alex, you go long, jump off, no? Right! If we go long, jump off, no? Talk to him, talk to him! Come on, Alex! Kirky, mama jaw you, bro. Okay? Left? Left? Wonderful. Yeah, man. Ready, man.
Yeah. We knew this one was going to be a tough one. As much as it's possible, we saved some leads from the game last night in preparation for this one. We know based on research and based on observation, it is a team that would have, always start fast, so we were prepared for that. We set up the team to nullify that. We figured that we would have achieved our objective the first half. We figured that, hey, we are in control of the game.
What a match. So unfortunate that one of these teams are out. The Jamaicans are back in the final. One of Jamaica's finest defenders, Anthony Battus Corbett, was on hand to see that strong defensive display by the Jamaicans. Let's hear his thoughts.
It was a good game, physical. Jamaicans are strong, fast players. I mean, we are known for that, so that's a good thing. Good game. Wasn't bad because the opponent is the defending champion. And them give them a good fight. But we deserve to be in the finals. It's a long time we haven't won.
Corbett made his name as a centre-back for the Reggae Boys, but like Fabio Cannavaro of Italy, he was not the typical tall, strong and powerful defender.
Probably 5'9", 5'10". The thing about playing centre-back is that I remember one time Jamaica, it started with Wadada. We were playing and Messi got a red card, Dave Brooks. I think we lose. Livingston was playing at the time, they didn't play. So we had both, the whole back line wasn't there. We were playing against Soldier, Michael Toller at the time. And I say, we don't have a centre back. So I usually want to play the position that the team needs someone to play there. Yeah, I always like that. Because at the time I had a bad knee, so I realized it was easier playing centre back. Mostly reading is mostly a head game. I used to admire Owie Bell, how him play, and he was a good friend. Owie is still a good friend of mine, so Owie contribute to play centre back. Captain for 6 years. I remember that's as a soccer player, there's nothing bigger than that still, to really captain your country, and I take that with a lot of humility, but knowing that it's a responsible task, and I think I played my part as a captain.
After retiring from football, Anthony Corbett migrated to South Florida. But what has he been doing since?
I've been coaching from I'm here. It's been a while now. From 2000, Carl Brown and I, we went and do a C license course in Western. And I've been a part of football from I'm here. I've done some good things here, you know. Everywhere I go, kids are developing and playing good football, so I guess I'm a winner.
As an influential captain and one of Jamaica's best ever defenders, now youth coach, does Corbett have dreams of one day coaching the senior reggae boys?
I rather coach the younger ones. I love develop, you know. So if you want to be in the game, if you're coaching kids, you'll always be in the game. A national coach is temporary. You know, you get a one stint and then you're out of it. I would want to work with the younger ones. That's it. To see them grow and develop and be better individuals, you know, because I mean, personality play a big part of the game too, you know. So the beauty about it, and see them go off, who don't make pro, at least you can see them go off and go to college and do something with their lives. I've learned a lot, and the thing about it is that I love to pass on what I have learned. You know, and I've learned so much from those coaches, you know, that enough people won't get a chance to really know them because they are not around. So it's always good to see how best I can carry and live their life through my work.
I've seen Coach take players that I thought were some of players that would never be able to play and became one of the top players at the end of the season. I've seen him grow a player from nothing to the beginning. I can definitely say, especially for my son, he's taken my son to be one of the top scouted players down from just being with Coach that 1 year. He's determined to show them exactly what they have inside of them. He builds them up, and he can definitely do it from the start to the finish. So I've watched him do it with my own son, and I've watched him do it with the players.
How does Anthony Corbett want to be remembered?
A loving and giving person. You know, give everything that he has in anything that he's doing. You know, and love. You know what I mean? That is what we want in Jamaica more than anything else now. We need some love. It's so violent, you know. So if you can help a youth out of the ghetto and can stop one kid from going that way, that's why development at an early age is important.
We have a foul outside the box. This is a very critical moment in this intense match. The tension in the stadium is palpable. He prepares for the free kick, strikes the ball, and goal!
Do whatever the crunch you want. New KFC saucy wings. Delicious, hot, and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings. It's finger-licking good.
The last eclipse of our galaxy. Scientists are gathered here today to witness this extraordinary event. Simply marvelous, extraordinary, unforgettable, one of a kind. Oh man, that's amazing.
You can't ignore the craving that makes everything crunch. The crispy barbecue zinger is back with barbecue sauce, cheddar cheese, bacon, and crispy onions on a spicy zinger filet. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
I love football, but I don't just play for me. I do it for Jamaica and for the fans on the journey with us. The ones who live for every shot and cheer every goal. The ones who know that performing on the big stage means big effort with big support. And of course, chicken with big flavor.
KFC's Big Deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries, and a drink. The perfect fan fuel for cheering on or history-making reggae girls. KFC, proud sponsors of Khadija Shaw and the Reggae Girls.
This is the CASA Youth Soccer Classic Highlight Show, and we are down to the final day of action. And the day started with news that the third place game is off.
I didn't even tell the players what happened. I told them what happened in the dressing room because some of the players started giving attitude, and I was like, you're lucky to be here. You didn't understand the fight this morning, you know, but by the grace of God, everything went how it should have went. I pray to God that at least I told the guys, at least please, let's try to get into the playoffs. And we did get into the playoffs, and then he had a mishap this morning that it might not have the playoffs, and it ended up happening.
After all the drama in the morning, the Tobagonians finally got a third chance to show their talents.
Trophy Day in the Caribbean Americas Youth Soccer Classic for 2025, one which started with RPS Rush stating their unavailability for the third place playoff, resulting in the game initially being cancelled for 3 p.m. But by 12 noon, the match was back on with Tobago Select placed against the team they edged for a spot in the playoff, Miami AC. Now, onto the football. With both teams happy for this third place game of the tournament, they took it as a lifeline and came out to play. In typical Tobago style, they came with the physicality. As usual, Kareem Warner in goal for Tobago came up good again for the team from the small isle, but the two easiest chances of the half fell to the reliable Kahim Lewis, who uncharacteristically missed from close range, 0-0 at the half. There was no need for a halftime phone call because Kyle Joseph, the coach, was finally here.
We going somewhere, we start going somewhere, we start understanding what's going on, right? So we just start coming together, play together, recover.
The second half was much like the first with a few changes for each team, and both goalkeepers coming up big, leaving it 0-0 at the final whistle.
After 160 minutes between these two, we still can't find a winner. Just before the finale, we heard from the tournament's parent MVP, from Plantation Rush.
Oh my goodness, it's very, very, very special. We've been doing this since he was about 4 years old, and I'm the team manager, so all of them are my babies. So I grew up with them. They grew up with me for about 3 years now. So it's very, very, very special. This is our third CASA, my third CASA with them. So it's very, very, very special to see them all come together and compete with international clubs. My biological son is number 45, Keon Hawes. I think most of them enjoy it, they like it, and when I'm not there and they don't hear me, they look for me and they're like, what's going on? My son says that he can't hear me at all. He's so focused on the game, but he doesn't want me to be quiet though. But you can't hear me, but you don't want me to be quiet. So I think that it means a lot to them. I think, at least in my heart, that it does give them an extra boost of motivation. It does let them know that somebody is here and somebody's supporting them. Even if you don't think that they're looking for you, they're looking for you. And so to have their parents there to give them that extra boost of confidence and comfort, I think is so important to them. And I really think that it does mean a lot. And when their parents are not there, I think that you can tell the difference in their attitude when they play. A couple of parents have come and they've asked me where I got the signs from. And so hopefully we'll see more signs as we go to more games and the kids will see their big gigantic faces as they're playing. So I'm hoping that I motivate some parents to come out. My child is going to be moving on to play in Germany, so I'm not going to be able to be at every game physically, but I am going to, when I am there, he is going to know it, and I am going to try my best to try to get a hold of those games. But just as long as I'm breathing, I'm walking, and I'm talking, I'm going to be at every single game as long as I can.
Let's see how much she will have to cheer for in this final.
Now, time for the big game, the final. Plantation Rush versus Jamaica All Schools. The teams were greeted by tournament officials along with ISA officials. Before this game, many believed that Jamaica All Schools would have a much easier time than they did a day prior, but that was far from the truth. Plantation came to play. Jamaica All Schools controlled the early part of the game, however, and camped out in Plantation's half, eventually breaking the deadlock. After the Jamaicans pressed high and forced a turnover, Captain Dylan John finished sweetly. With their rhythm, it felt as if the Jamaicans would go on to score 2 more goals, but that was not to be as Plantation Rush woke up after conceding, and in one of their few attacks in the first half, Kishan Pownell toe-poked one past goalkeeper Marion Brown for his 3rd goal of the tournament after a nice reverse pass from Keon Dawes. Surprise, surprise, 1-1 at the half. At halftime, Jamaica made a few changes, especially with the front 3. Plantation played a high line and had their goalkeeper play as a sweeper, which seemed to be working until the 69th minute after a through ball from Dylan John to O'Rain Watson. The goalkeeper handled the ball, red card, and Plantation had to play the last 10 minutes plus added time with 10 men. But that they did. With less than 2 minutes to go on the clock, Jamaica swapped Brown for well-known penalty stopper Garfield Tomlinson in goal, as the score would stay at 1 apiece at the final whistle. Penalties would decide the winner for a 3rd straight year. And just like he did in the CASA Cup semis and final, Garfield Tomlinson was the hero, saving back-to-back penalties from Amado Castillo and Eduardo Garcia, with Oreen Watson, Dylan John, DeAndre Barnett, and Ryan O'Neal Francis all going to the keeper's left for a perfect 4 from 4. Jamaica All Schools lifting the title for the first time in 6 years, with Oreen Watson as leading goal scorer and Dylan John tournament MVP.
It feels great. We were reminded before we came up that for the past 2 years, we would have lost out on this championship. The first objective was to get ourselves in the final, the championship game, and so it's very, very, very elating that we would have capped it out.
Congrats to the Jamaica team on this hard-fought victory. What a tournament! 3 years, 3 different winners. That's it for CASA 2025. Let's see what 2026 has in store.
I love football, but I don't just play for me. I do it for Jamaica and for the fans on the journey with us. The ones who live for every shot and cheer every goal. The ones who know that performing on the big stage means big effort with big support. And of course, chicken with big flavor.
KFC's Big Deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries, and a drink. The perfect fan fuel for cheering on or history-making reggae girls. KFC, proud sponsors of Khadija Shaw and the Reggae Girls.
We have a foul outside the box. This is a very critical moment in this intense match. The tension in the stadium is palpable. He prepares for the free kick, strikes the ball, and goal!
Do whatever the crunch you want. New KFC saucy wings. Delicious, hot, and spicy wings tossed in savory mango habanero or buffalo sauce. Wings that will crunch the rest. New KFC saucy wings. It's finger licking good.